Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for another installment and our last installment, actually, of the Pacer Wave virtual sessions. Today, we are going to be talking about Pacer Move-In and new student orientation. It's right around the corner, folks. It's crazy. We are busy over at 15 East P Street getting ready for your students to join us, for you to join us. So, myself, my name is Megan Hickey. I'm representing the Office of Student Involvement. And then I have Cody Green with me. I'll let him briefly introduce himself as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cody Green, and I am the Director of Residence Life and Housing. And yeah, summer has flown. I hope you've all had a great summer, but we are super excited to welcome you to campus. And I know many people have cameras off, but I can't wait to see many of your faces and start putting some names with some faces. And we're going to have a great year. I'm excited for this year. So yeah, excited to be here.
Cool. Alrighty, well, this is our agenda for tonight. If you joined us earlier in the summer, this does look a little bit similar to the previous one that we talked about, living on campus and new student orientation. We're going to go over the new student experience webpage one more time. We'll talk briefly about the orientation 2026 online course that all new students were required to complete. Then we'll talk about new student orientation, both for first time in college students and for transfer students. And that also includes family orientation. We'll talk about that a bit as well. We'll touch on housing application and commuter application if you are one of our recent deposits. And then we'll also talk about new Pacer Move-In, which is also for first time in college students and transfer students. And then we have a slide at the end in case you have any other burning questions and you need to contact us afterwards. We'll have all our contact information available for y'all as well. Oh, I hit the wrong key because I got two computers going. Just kidding. So we're going to talk about the new student experience webpage. I just wanted to note this. This is the URL on this screen. So peace.edu, student life, new student experience. Think of this as the hub for all things getting prepared for new student orientation and Pacer move-in. I wanted to point this out specifically because there is an important links section, and that is where you will find schedules for new student orientation. We will be uploading new schedules soon. As of right now, they are still without all of the details, but it is the correct times and items of what folks will be experiencing through orientation. So just wanted to point that out that that's available for you on the new student experience webpage. It also includes other details for students. So if they need to complete the new student checklist, if they need to register for new student orientation, if they need to fill out any forms for housing or being a commuter student, or any other things that you can think of, this is a really great spot to start. And it also includes a lot of contact information for other campus resource offices. So if you don't know where to go, you can reach out to us and we'll make sure that we give you the right information. So just wanted to plug it. I will drop the URL into the chat right now in case folks need it. But just wanted to pause for a moment. Does anyone have any questions about the new student experience page? And if not, that's totally okay. All right. Well, that has been dropped in the chat. So if you need it, you can use that link to access it on your device. And if not, no worries. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next page. Briefly going to touch on the Orientation 2026 online course. This is something that new students coming into Peace for Fall 26 have to complete in order to be prepared for new student orientation. So, wanted to note that the deadline to complete this course is August 1. That is right around the corner. It's Saturday. So, wanted to point that out just in terms of making sure that students are meeting that deadline. Canvas is where this course is located. The login information is tied to the Peace single sign-on login information. I do have another slide which kind of details it a little bit more. Feel free to take a screenshot of this, and I'm happy to send slides out afterwards if folks need them. But going to peace.instructure.com, that will be the best place for students to log into Canvas and make sure that they can access their Orientation 2026 online course. I will say this is our learning management system for the entire university. So not only will the orientation course be in here, your students' courses for fall semester will also be in this platform as well. I'm going to drop that link in the chat as well, just so folks have that. But that has been sent out to students via their piece and their personal email if they're receiving comms from us as they're getting prepared to join us on campus. Any questions about the online course? The only thing I'll mention about this is it's just really a helpful resource. It's going to go through a lot of different campus resource offices and provide PDF attachments and other items that folks can save and kind of reference on their own time as well, and a lot of links to necessary to-do list items and making sure students are ready to start before the first day of classes. Me clicking the wrong computer screen again. And then I'll talk a little bit about new student orientation again. I wanted to provide some dates. So on this screen, we've got dates for first time in college student orientation. So their date for new Pacer move in, and Cody will go into more details in a moment. That starts Thursday, August 13th in the morning. And then in the latter half of the day and in the evening, that's the first day of first time in college student orientation. Day two is Friday, August 14th, and day three is Saturday, August 15th. There are more required elements of first time in college student orientation as well. It does take up until the first day of classes, which is Wednesday, August 19th. There's just not enough space on this slide for me to give all the details, but the schedule at a glance is, and once we launch the detailed schedules on the new student experience webpage, we'll detail out every single item that students are required to attend or are optional for students to attend during first time in college student orientation. I did want to note FTIC family orientation right underneath that. That's only a 2-day opportunity. That takes place on Thursday, August 13th and Friday, August 14th. Think of family orientation as the translated version of your student's orientation. We are trying to provide you with opportunities to understand how you can support your student and how we can support you in supporting your student as a family member. So we'll provide content that's tied to campus resource offices and provide you an opportunity to kind of experience what your student will be experiencing in their first semester with us. If you're a transfer family or a transfer student, transfer orientation is a little bit of a different timeline. So new Pacer move-in for transfer students will take place on Saturday, August 15th, which Cody will talk a little bit about as well. Their first day of required orientation programming will take place on Monday, August 17th and conclude on Tuesday, August 18th, which is a bit different from FTIC students. And there are optional opportunities for transfer students to attend programming beginning August 15th. It's just not required for them. So wanted to put that out there, and that will be listed on the detailed schedules as well. For transfer family orientation, that is a little bit different as well. That will take place on Monday, August 17th in the morning. It will be an abbreviated schedule alongside your student who may be a transfer, but wanted to offer that for our families as well. And then this box on the side, I've kind of said this a couple of times, but all new Pacers, so any transfer students, any first time in college students, will have additional, optional, and required both orientation programming and Pacer Welcome Week programming leading up to the first day of classes, Wednesday, August 19th, that are throughout these days. So August 13th through the 18th for first time in college students, and August 15th through the 18th for transfer students. So I can walk through some of these schedules at a glance. Cody, feel free to tell me if that was helpful last time. But I will note that on these schedules, if you look at these on your own time, required sessions are denoted with an asterisk for students in both separate schedules. And detailed schedules, we are aiming to have these out within the next week to you all. Those will be posted both on the new student experience webpage, the Pacer Family Portal, and be available for access for your students through email. Cody, was it helpful to walk through them last time?
Not super, and I think since you're sending it, like they'll receive it in the next week or so.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't get a ton of questions the last time I went through it, so.
Cool. I will say for any folks on the call, these are currently listed, the schedule at a glance. They are listed on the new student experience webpage, and it does go through every single day that I just spoke about on the other slide. And we will make sure to make it very abundantly clear when the detailed schedules are available. The difference for y'all's reference between a schedule at a glance and the detailed schedules are going to be digital copies of the physical copies you all will receive when you check in for orientation. So think of it as including even more details of what the sessions will include, locations, and any other details that aren't included on a schedule at a glance. So we will have those to you all very shortly. Alrighty, Cody. I just tell me when you want me to click.
That's my favorite part. All right, so I'm going to go through just in this section housing application commuter request. I hope that many of you on this call have already completed that. If you have, maybe give me like a clap or a thumbs up or a react just so I can see who all. Yes, nice. I'm seeing some thumbs up. There they come. Rolling on in. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, you can go ahead and click. Perfect. So, if you haven't done so already, your Peace email account will have a commuter request, or it's in the same email. It's a housing application or commuter request. You do not need to complete both. You just need to complete one or the other. If you plan to live on housing on campus, complete the housing application. It will be sent to your email. It is on a first come, serve basis. Um, I'll just be honest with everybody. If you haven't completed it, we will get you where we can. We're looking very full right now in our first year community. So we do currently still have some bed spaces available. So if you are planning to live on campus, please, please, please submit that as soon as possible so we can work on that assignment, send you the email and all the details that come along with the move-in day. If you need to revise anything on your housing application, the best thing to do is in the emails that you receive, there'll be like a roommate change request form. If you've completed that and you've not heard anything back, you can email us at residencelife@peace.edu. We have a contact page at the end of this session, so you can take a picture of that email, and we'll try our best to accommodate any changes. Thanks, Megan, for putting that in the chat. We'll do our best to accommodate those, but like I said, we are full, so are looking pretty full, so we may not be able to accommodate everything. If you're requesting a roommate, just request each other. Megan and I wouldn't live together, but let's just say we would live together, right? Megan wants to live with me. She puts me down. I want to live with Megan. I put her down. It makes it very easy for us if you both request each other. And then the meal plan option, we have one meal plan for first year students. So that is the one option that you're able to sign up for. So you also want to choose that meal plan in your housing application. Next slide, please. And then we just sent out, many of you probably got an email on maybe Monday with housing assignments, final housing assignments. We will do another round of those before move in. So you'll get one more push of the housing assignment email from us before you get here on the 13th. And just reviewing that, looking at the time and to move in, and I'll go over that in our next few couple sessions or slides. But all that information is in that email. And ultimately, just getting excited to be here and have a new experience and meet new people. And I just really encourage all of you to just invest in that experience in college and university life and college life is all about return on investment. And I think not just in the classroom, but outside of that, like the people you live with, the people you meet, the people you get to experience this 4 years with is super important. So we want you all to just be super excited to be here with us. Next slide. All right, if you're planning to commute, you do not have to meet all of these requirements. You just have to meet one of them. So the commuter application will be in that same email. If you're going to be 22 years or older, mainly this are transfer students or non-traditional students coming in. You're married or have dependents. If you're living with a parent or guardian within a 50-mile radius and plan to commute. If you've been enrolled in university or college for 3 years. If you have a medical condition, we are going to have you work with like disability service and our wellness center um, to just look into that. There's just a few extra steps that need to be approved. And then if you're experiencing extreme financial hardship, which I know many of us are in today's age and time, but we do work with financial aid to look at packages and look at the best financial option for some students if they are experiencing that. If you do plan to commute, I always tell students to talk with financial aid first because FAFSA will look at your overall bill and see the need for housing and meal plan cost, which we'll just say is roughly $1,200. Once that is then removed, the government doesn't see the need for that $12,000 anymore, right? So if that's then going to impact the amount of aid that you get or receive from financial aid, you may be in a bit worse of a situation, especially if you're planning to like pay to live off campus. You're still gonna have to pay that money out, and you're not gonna have that money because the government doesn't see the need for that money. So I always just advise everyone who's looking to commute to just stop by financial aid, contact them, see if they can run you what your bill would look like as a commuter student and how it would impact your aid. So, just my professional advice to everyone. Next slide. And then you'll just complete the commuter application. We'll send you a email that you've been approved, and then that's all you need to do. So it's pretty simple. Just make sure you complete one or the other form, so we just have record of what you're planning to do, either live with us or commute. Next slide. All right, you can go to the next slide too. So we're going to talk about FTIC, which is first time in college. This is our first year move in. So it's going to be August 13th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll be set up around 8:30, ready to go. And we'll stay back a little, it's not a hard cut at 12. We're here kind of all day that day. So if you do plan to arrive late, we normally contact like late arrivals around the 11:15 marker just to check to see where people are and kind of get a pulse of when they're going to be here. But that is the primary designated time frame for check-in. You'll park in main parking lot. We'll have greeters and parking lot directors, and you'll go to the second floor of the library, check in, get your keys. If there are any financial aid questions, student account questions, or health records, health services questions, all of those offices will be available on campus that day to assist you. We will have people walking people over to meet with financial aid, etc. Um, like I said, Monday, you all probably received an email about move-in day instructions, where kind of all this time frame is lined out. If you are a first year student, we do a pretty fun thing for you all. We offer a move-in day crew, which is all volunteers. It will be a mix of students, faculty, staff, university president will probably out there, Peace alumna and alumni. And then we do have a few local churches and community members that are going to be here. And basically, what you do is you roll in and they unload everything from your vehicle and they take it and put it in your room. So, since we do that, it's just good to label your belongings, right? So if you're in Ross 100 on your boxes or your bins or whatever you're putting, piece of moving tape, duct tape, write it on there, Ross 100, right? So that way, if a box gets shifted down to Ross 102, we know that it belongs to Ross 100 when someone's like, hey, my gray box with all of my bedding is nowhere to be found, and we're like, oh, here it is, we have found it for you. So makes our life a lot easier, but the intent is to make your life a lot easier so you're not having to load and unload carfuls of um, residence hall supplies in 100-degree heat and potentially 100% humidity. So it is a hot day, so it's a fun experience, and we do want to welcome you all to campus and help you get moved in and settled. You will also be able to get your parking pass and ID that day if you have already prepaid for that and sent in to have your ID made. If not, don't stress, it's okay. We don't ticket for like the first 2, 3 weeks of classes. Public safety is here every day of the week. You can pop by there if your student ID is not made. They can make one for you. But any of them that have been submitted beforehand and before move in, you'll get all of that at move in. We'll do the next slide. Thank you, Megan. Yeah, if you want to buy at move in, please submit the form and payment by August 1st. If you don't, then you'll be able to pick it up throughout that first couple weeks. The only thing really different for transfer students is the day, and unfortunately, we don't have move-in day crew for transfer and upperclassmen students. I am sorry. Um, so August 15th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., same time frame, same setup. If you're here a little bit earlier, a little bit later, we'll work with you. Check your PC mail for all of that information. If you are living at Village Green, do not go to Village Green to pick up your keys because they will tell you to come to campus. So come to campus first. That should be in the email as well to pick up your VG keys. And then we will have our Village Green RA staff and one of our staff members out there at Village Green to welcome you to VG, assist with any maintenance concerns. Their maintenance team will be out there doing walkthroughs available just to address anything the day of. And then same thing with parking pass and ID August 1st, if you'd like that. If not, you have time before classes and everything to get that taken care of. Are there any questions about move-in day? We'll have like Coco Chrissy here, which is like ices, shaved ice, different flavors. They're here like 11:30 to 1:30. If you want to eat in the dining hall that day for first year move-in, more than welcome to. We encourage families, guests, students to eat in the dining hall. If you don't, you want to go off campus and eat, we've got tons of fabulous restaurants close by within walking distance. So we'll have sweet treats. We'll have people walking around checking in on you. The day can feel a little hectic, right? And this will be my 11th move in here at Peace. So I know for family and guests and dropping off your student to start this adventure can be a little overwhelming. It can be a lot for the student in general. But just know that we are all here to support that. We are all here to be a resource for you as parent, guardians, guests, as students. So we really want you to feel like you're leaving your student in good hands, and as a student, you feel like you're being taken care of. So you'll see tons of people in volunteer shirts and name tags and polos, and you'll see banners and phantom and photos and all sorts of fun, crazy things. So while it's nerve-wracking, I also hope that you all are just getting super excited for this new step and this new adventure. So um, this is our contact information for orientation and for residence life. So, any questions you have about anything coming up that you may be going through and experiencing through orientation sessions, if you have questions specific about res life, move in and check in, just make sure you reach out to the appropriate email address, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions for you. Um, but I think for now, if there are any larger questions, unless Megan, you have another wrap up something.
I am going to put in some information in the chat, and I wanted to say this aloud. We have gone through a major web page update through our Office of Marketing and Communication. So there are some things that are a little bit easier to access. So for my person that had a question on like where do we go online and get the parking pass and ID, what I would recommend is either accessing PacerNet or going on to the peace.edu webpage and going to the current students tab. There's a tab that says parking and transportation. So I'm going to put that in the chat here and then also PacerNet, which will have the same information. And then I just saw a question in the chat about the coach's reception. Mandy, do you have a specific question about it or just like you want to know the vibes? We do have a time. I am going to stop sharing my screen for the moment. I can keep recording, but I need my other tab because I'm recording on this other computer. So just one moment. How do I turn off stop share? Me like trying to figure this out for the first time. There we are. Alrighty, let me pull up the time for that. It takes place on Friday, August 14th, and I believe it's at 5 p.m., but let me double check for you. Um, how do you access the new student orientation? Are you asking about the online course? Or are you asking about accessing the registration for new student orientation? And feel free y'all to unmute. Like it's really no problem. Um, yes, coach's reception, Mandy, is from 4 to 5 on August 14th. How do you access the online new student orientation course? So for our students that might have been recent deposits or just are looking on how to complete the online orientation course, you should have received emails that kind of detail out how to access the course and how to complete it. And if you go to that new student experience webpage that I linked at the top of the chat and will link again, there's a button that will let you access the Canvas course. And you'll log in with your piece identification, and then that will give you access to the Orientation 2026 course. And that's essentially it. There's some brief quizzes involved as well, but that's all you need to do to complete the course. And let me know if that doesn't answer your question, like if there's extra details you'd prefer to have. I see in the chat, Christian, what is the coach's reception? Truthfully, it is just an opportunity for family members and their student, if they are a Pacer athlete, to interact with some of our coaching staff, ask questions, get some face to a name, and make sure that you feel connected to our athletic community, kind of feeling prepared for if you want to attend any of our games throughout the academic year, and just kind of those expectations that will come in with balancing athletics and academics at the same time. Anyone else have any other questions about new student orientation, Pacer move-in, anything of that nature? Oh my
Oh,
gosh, yes. Can
yes.
parents help students set up their dorm rooms? We'll take it
100%. We
away.
want you to do that. Yes. Make it feel homey, make it feel what you want it to be. We really just ask that like you don't go hammering in like big holes into the wall, like um command strips, anything that's tacky, putty, small nails are fine. But if you're my mom would be hot if not. Malachi. Oh, she'd be so mad. So yes, we want you to help set up the space. Um, a lot of students like to hang lights around the border of the room. We just ask that you don't use like traditional Christmas lights, like any bulb that is hot. So like a LED strip light or more of like a LED bulb. We just don't want anything that is going to get hot and potentially catch on fire. So also with that, no open flames, so no candles, no incense. None of that. Microwaves are not allowed in individual rooms, but there are microwaves located on floors, common spaces, common kitchens. But when thinking about risk management and safety of residential communities of, 200 some people, did you say no LED? No, preferably like non-halogen. I think LED lights are the preferred, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, I can tell you that would take a very long time. We send a list of what to bring and what not to bring. I think that might have been in your Monday email.
I can also in
Um,
the chat, I will link the piece like move in, move out info
Perfect.
page.
Yeah.
The page that I'm going to link y'all is a lot of details tied to housing and moving in and all the things that you may not need. I will say there are some emails that are still coming to y'all. And in addition to that, if you look in your orientation 2026 course, we have PDFs of the housing checklist and packing information.
Yeah. So, quickly things to leave at home, candles, microwaves, air fryers, Instapots, appliances with an open heat, toaster oven, um, any window units, air conditioners, electric heaters, uh, halogen lights, double-sided foam tape. I don't even know what that is, but nails. I mean, just if they're small nails, we're not gonna worry about that. Weapons, no guns. Stereo surround sound systems. Bring some music, but remember you're living in a community, right? So if I can hear what's happening in your room three doors down, next door, down the hallway, off the elevator, like you're being entirely too loud. Um, Pets, leave your fur babies at the house unless it is approved ESA, please. Because we will ask you to get rid of the animal within 24 hours, however you see fit to do that. So, unless it's approved ESA, pets are not allowed. ESAs are not pets. They are a disability accommodation. You have to be approved to bring those to campus. And you have to have approval before you bring them to campus. So don't show up on moving day with Buck, your new little pup, to be your ESA and you've not gone through the ESA process because we will tell somebody to take Buck back to the house. So that is a big one that students get a little confused on. If you live at Village Green, even more confusing. We master lease that one whole building. So everything in that building follows our policy, procedure, code of conduct, and student handbook, all those things. Since we don't allow pets in our building at Village Green. If you are an independent leaser at Village Green, they allow you to have a pet. But since you are living with us, it falls under the same policy guidelines, procedures that we operate on as a university. So pets is a big one that people get a little confused on every year. And then fireworks are explosive. So like anything that I said could start a fire. So those are really the big main essentials that we have kind of come up with to leave at the house. Do all the beds have storage room underneath? They do. We do not loft beds, so we do not stack loft a bed. We do. You can move the beds up. They're on prongs and rings, so you can take a mallet, pop it out, move it up. We'll have facilities kind of going around that day helping anybody who needs it. But yes, you should be able to fit some stuff underneath your bed if you raise it. Currently, some of those beds have like a two drawer dresser underneath them that fit well. I've seen some students use like the three kind of clear drawer organizer that fits under there. Um, but yes, you can fit stuff under the bed as long as you raise it. Any
Does anyone
other
else yeah, I was about to say the same thing as
questions?
you. Does
Yeah,
anyone
no
else have
problem.
any other questions?
You're fine.
Well, if no one else has any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. But if folks have anything that comes up after this, prior to Pacer move in and new student orientation for any student type that's attending at Peace this fall, if you have orientation questions, email us at orientation@peace.edu. If you have any housing, Pacer move-in questions, residence life in general, email residencelife@peace.edu. Um, we'll be available. We are still getting ready and organized for all of you to join us on campus, and we're looking forward to having you all join us. Again, thanks for being here today. And if you're watching the recording, thanks for informing yourself ahead of time. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And if folks have anything else at the end, feel free and we'll hang out. Thanks so much for being here.